Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Mr. Payne bringing you Unit 1, Lesson 4, the distributive property. In the last lesson, we saw the important properties of addition and multiplication in the commutative and associative properties. The last of the three properties combines addition, multiplication, and division with the distributive property. The first exercise will illustrate the idea of the distributive property. Exercise number 1. Consider the product 4 times 15. Please evaluate this using the standard algorithm. That just means 15 times 4, which gives me 60. B is asking you, please represent the equivalent product of 4 times 10 plus 5 as a repeated addition of 10 and 5. Find the product. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to use the distributive property, and I'm going to say, okay, 4 times 10, which gives me 40, plus 4 times 5, which gives me 20. 40 plus 20 gives me 60. Well, some people may ask, well, how did you get the 10 and the 5? Well, it's simple. I took that 15 and I broke it up to 10 plus 5. 10 plus 5 is the same way as saying 15. Both ways are equally correct, whatever way you feel is easier. The distributive property of multiplication over addition. If A, B, and C all represent real numbers, then A times B plus C equals A times B plus A times C. So all I'm basically doing is taking this A and the B, multiplying it together, keeping my plus sign in the A and the C. So let's evaluate each product by using the distributive property to make it easier. Feel free to use the associated property of multiplication as well. On B, express 18 as a subtraction problem. Do not use a calculator to solve these two problems. So let me show you and explain to you what they mean for this. For A, they would like you to break up 23. So I have 7 times, and how would you like to break up 23 as an addition problem? Well, I can break it up as 20 plus 3. And now this is a much easier problem to solve than 7 times 23. You all can solve 7 times 20. And the easy way to think about that is 7 times 2 is 14. And you just put the 0 in afterwards. So 7 times 2 is 20 is 140. Plus 7 times 3, which is easy, which is 21. Now all I have to do is 140 plus 21, which gives me 161. This makes mental math a lot easier. Now I would like to break up 18. Well, it's telling me in my direction that they want to see a subtraction problem. So I have 9 times, what is the next biggest 10 number? So if I wanted to round 18 up or round it to the tens, I would round it to the 20. And if I'm at 20, how do I get to 18? I'm going to subtract 2. Now this is the same thing. It's nice and easy. I just explained to you. 9 times 2 is 18. Add the 0. That gives me 180. Minus 18. Now this is a little bit more complicated, and you have to do a little bit more mental math if you want to put it underneath. So minus 18, so that you can do some easy math. That'll cancel it out, become a 7. That's 10, so it gives you 2. It's going to give me 162 as a final answer. The distributive property can be used twice in order to multiply two-digit numbers. For example, find the product of 12 times 28 by evaluating 10 plus 2 times 20 plus 8. Show each step in your calculation. Do not use a calculator unless it is to check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 10 plus 2 and I'm going to split it up, because I want to multiply it twice to that 20 plus 8. So I'm going to say 10 times 20 plus 8 plus 2 times 20 plus 8. Now I'm going to use the distributive property twice. Don't forget, whenever I say distributive property, I know when I jump my parentheses I need to multiply. So 10 times 20 is 200. 10 times 8 is 80. Plus 2 times 20, which is 40. 2 times 8, which is 16. Notice my math gets a lot easier when I'm doing this. It's a lot easier than saying 12 times 28. 200 plus 80 is 280. Plus 40 plus 16. I would do now 280 plus 40 is going to give me 320. Plus 16. And this math is all mental math, nice and easy now. And this is going to give me now 336. 336 is my final answer. It's a little bit more work than maybe just doing 12 times 28, but the mental math is a lot easier for you to accomplish. The distributive property can also be used on expressions. Please underline the word expressions. Expressions means that they're not going to have any equal signs and involve variables. Underline variables. Variables means that they're going to be involving letters. Express the following products as binomial expressions. Binomial means they're going to have two terms in their answers. Show each step in your calculations. B, negative 4 times 5x minus 8. Remember, what we're doing is we're distributing. That's right out in front of my parentheses, so let's distribute it. Negative 4 times 5x is going to give me a negative 20x. Negative 4 times negative 8 is going to give me a positive 32. Let's move over to D, and we have to really remember some of our polynomial rules. So 5x times 2 is going to give me 10x. 5x times negative 7x, let's remember here it's going to be a negative. 5 times 7 is 35. And whenever I multiply my coefficients, I'm going to add my exponents. So x to the 1 plus x to the 1 is going to give me x squared. So my final answer is 10x minus 35x squared. And both answers are products as a binomial expression. One common mistake students make is not realizing the distributive property works for division as well as multiplication. For division, the property would look in symbolic form like the following. The distributive property of division over addition. If A, B, and C all represent real numbers, I can take B and A, and I can also take the C and A and split it up. Exercise number 5. Express each of the following quotients as binomials in simplest form. Show your calculations. Some of your final answers will contain fractional coefficients. Well, what does fractional coefficients means? That just means the number out in front of your variable may be a fraction. I'm going to also do B and D in this section, so pay attention and write your answers in these examples in the correct spot. Let's break up B. I'm going to take 25x and put that over 5 minus 50 over 5 on this side. This makes this problem a lot easier. 25 divided by 5 is 5x minus 50 divided by 5, which is 10. That's an answer, and that is my final answer. There's nothing else I can do to that. I'm going to do the same thing to D. I'm going to say, alright, I'm going to do negative 9x over 12 plus 18 over 12, and just do the simple math. That's going to give me, and simplify these, negative 3/4 x plus 3 over 2. If you're wondering how I did that, I just basically simplified. I said, okay, 3 goes into both 9 and 12. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. On this side, I said, okay, what goes into 18 and 12? I said 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 12 divided by 6 is 2. That's how I simplified those fractions in my head. Please remember at this time that you should be completing all of your note packet, like with me with this video, and now you should be writing in your WSQ packet. Write a good 3 to 4 sentence summary about what this video taught you.